This is South Carolina today, folks. Seriously. Come on, skip your ad. Sorry, folks. Argentina today. The wind blew that plane. Come on. Nasty day at Lowe's. Nice footage. All right, howdy, folks. Welcome back. I told you I'd be back. Yeah, look at this devastation. That's Argentina getting hit by out of the nowhere hurricane with 93-mile-an-hour winds. The other one was this is South Carolina getting hit. Florida got flooded today too, so our storm has had impacts. Okay, and you're seeing some of the impacts here already kind of coming in from today. Don't drive into deep water really fast like that in a small car. Okay, don't do that. All right, so nasty weather affecting all over the place. Really, there were so many places affected today. I can't even keep track of them all. All right, so let's get started here with our solar report. We got a lot to cover tonight. So here we are, 12/17/2023. And I'm going to let that loop play for you guys for a second there. Adjust the camera a little bit. Get ready here. Okay. As you can see, multiple CMEs today. All kinds of activity going on the sun here today. All right, one more time through the loop. I'll let you guys kind of look at that with your trained eyes now. All right, let's see if we can stop this. I need to back up. So, not much in the opening few frames here. Let me get started with this first event coming off the top right here. Okay. There's seems to be one out front here leading a second one back here. We got this one shooting out the side right here where we have this spire. Okay, right here, we're going to take a second to go look at this one real quick. Oops. Okay, there we go. Here's the backside of our little black object. You can see it coming out with the plasma here. Excuse me. I ate a big dinner. Excuse me. All right, so there's this little object right here. Meanwhile, up top, we have one coming out right here and a second one coming out down here. So let me pull back a little bit now. Oops. All right, now as we kind of continue on, okay, right there, you can see the second one. You can see both of them at the same time. Probably right about there, I guess. Just real quick, we're going to go into this one up top. Okay, you can see our small one right here with another one up here. Okay, so there's a double. This one seemed to be coming out faster. One of these two is shooting out a little faster than the other one. But there's a double right there on the top of the sun. Okay, there's your... I mean, they're pretty visible. Okay, so then as we continue with these going up out of the screen here, let me scoot this just a tad bit more this way for us. Okay, there we go. All right, they proceed up out of the top of the screen. We had another little spurt over here. A lot of plasma coming out with that one right there. All right, I'm going to have to pull this down just a tad bit more. There we go. So that one's leaving. There's a ghostly one down here. See this one sneaking through? You can see its little wake right there as it kind of sneaks through there. Another event here, still firing off the top of the sun. Then we have this event right here. Okay, you can see it over here on this side. It's pulled out a lot of plasma, or strung it out quite a ways. Okay, see this little jet just continues to get pulled out by that object right there. And that was our last frame right there, okay? I'm not going to go into this one. You can see it right there. So let me go ahead and back into motion. And then you can see our activity for today, December 17th. Okay. Also, the day of impact, and we will talk about that as well. Ooh, while we're here, something I wanted to look at real quick. Since there have been so many CMEs merging, missing, doing this and doing that, and we're relying on this endless spiral a little too much. Okay, so something I want to do that I'm used to doing is we're going to go 3 days before tomorrow. So, tomorrow being the 18th, we're going to go back to the 15th and see what came off the sun that day. All right, just the old way we used to do it. Okay, I'm not going to go to that endless spiral and rely on that too much. This is what I rely on more. Okay, remember this event? Remember this just the other day? Big one coming off the top. This big one coming off the side right here. Zoom right past. That one is so fast. Going by just boom, really fast. Okay, also, this is the day with a full halo, right? You saw that with this? And I think it's maybe important that we stop here for a second and go frame by frame through this day one more time to get an idea for ourselves without anybody else, any other instrumentation's influence on what to expect arriving tomorrow. Okay, it's already 2 hours deep into it, so we're missing 2 hours of data. It seemed to be this event up at the top that's trailing away that we don't really have to worry about too much. All right, now as we start progressing through this, most of the activity we have to worry about is in this zone right down here. Okay, sometimes stuff comes out of this quadrant that can still spread down this area. So as we go through this day, we have this slow motion event right here. Okay, it's very faint, but it's there. This one kind of takes over. But then we have this big object right there, that big black object created a quick CME right there. It's not a big blast, but it does reach down to here. All right, so we have this little loop over here, we have this loop over here, and look how it's filling in the middle here. See how screen almost is coming at us. Hang on, right? We have the spire over here now with another ghostly one here. All right, here's where we have our readings. Even though this is a glitch frame, it's still showing some kind of coming off here. So we go to the next frame here, and you see your red line going around. The blue line's barely here in the corner, way up here. So it's already extended. The blue line's kind of extended out of the frame, but we still have the red line right there showing this full halo coming at us. Now, they're not really talking about this or reporting on this quite yet. Everybody's still kind of looking at the last one, all right? And there's no real Enlil spiral data left around for this day, all right? So I'd have to, go deep into the archives to find it or whatever. But you can see an object over on this side, this big black round object right there, okay? That one whizzed by so fast, it's out of the frame already. And then you see all this energy right here coming at us. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put that back into motion. I just want you to kind of see all that energy from this side all the way over here coming our way on the 18th. All right. Now, I don't think anybody's tracking this one yet. All right, and I don't want people getting caught off guard. So, because there's so many happening now, and it's so hard to tell if one's going to catch another, if they're going to cannibalize each other, if they're going to come in waves and stuff, that it distracts you from the other ones that have happened since then. Okay, so we got a like a train of them coming. All right, so here's another round that came off the sun on the 15th that's due to reach Earth on the 18th. All right. Now that we got that out the way, let's come on over here to the solar ham instrument here. And we'll start off with our GOES X-ray like we do. And we got some good news. Alright, there we go. You can see today was a pretty mild day. Just in two little small spikes. And it's kind of mellowed out. We have a couple of small little spikes going into tomorrow already. We might go take a peek at that at the end here. But all the bells and whistles and sirens have kind of quieted down. This impact arrived late. It wasn't as big. But everybody's kind of like, oh, good, it wasn't this big, huge impact. Which it wasn't a huge impact, but what it was long duration. If you look here at the KP index, let me just pull this up a little bit bigger. Please, Lord, can we have it? Thank you. All right, starting from down here, this nice climb all the way up to the top. This, even though it wasn't a high magnetic impact, it's over a long duration. All right, so we had a long duration of absorption. It wasn't one big spike. It was a lot over a long period of time. All right, so that still kind of contributes. It's not as bad, thankfully. That's kind of mellowed out our earthquake volcanoes activity slightly. Okay, so that's good news. I'm glad that it's kind of dying down right now. Let's come over here to the auroras. Well, that's not the auroras we saw just a second ago. All right, well, they're back vibrant green again here. You saw on that little clip right before I clipped on it, just a little while ago, they were really faint. So I thought we were going into a really weak period right now, but they seem to have brightened back up just in the last just like in the last hour or so while I was getting ready here. Okay, so let's get back out of that. Here you can see we did have the impact. Whoops. Okay, it wasn't much, but the three combined did graze us and give us about a G1 geomagnetic storm. Thankfully, I'm glad I was wrong. I'm glad we didn't have a G3, because it could have been worse. But it's still having its impact as far as the weather, because it you saw what it did to the storm. Intensified that storm, hit South Carolina today, flooded that area. It's currently moving up the East Coast as we speak. Not much here on the tracker. I want to look at this one over here that they have plotted on the NOAA site here. Please, Lord, can we have this one? I clicking on it. All right, here it comes. Wife unit? That's funny. Okay, here we go. Let me just load up the movie. Okay, there it goes. All right, so they're showing this wave that's coming off right here, impacting on the 17th right there. That was our big wave that we were all worried about. It seemed to have just grazed us because we did get some stuff on the telemetry, and yeah, it seemed to have kind of weakened the blow when they merged like that. It slowed it up. It definitely gave it a little longer duration period. So the wave was a little thicker with all these combined together. So it wasn't as intense in a single impact, but it was a long duration impact absorption. Okay, so let's back out of this now real quick. I just got one last thing I wanted to look at, I think. Yeah, now coming up here to December 18th, okay, they're predicting a G1 magnetic storm, all right? So there's all that energy that we saw just a minute ago coming off on the 15th. It's due to hit on the 18th, so we're due to have a little G1 storm for tomorrow as well, okay? All that sunspot disappeared to 3514, that nasty beta gamma delta. It's gone now off the chart. X flare potential back down to 5%, M flare down to 25. So it seems things have kind of calmed down a little bit. Everything's taking a little breather. But even though it's taking a breather, we still have energy inbound in between us and the sun that I think might be kind of forgotten about in all the melee here. Okay, the weekend forecast called for a G2 class geomagnetic storm. It didn't happen. Forecasters thought a CME would hit Earth on December 16th. All right, we all thought it was 17th. Either the CME missed us or it hit so weakly that satellite sensors did not detect it. Either way, the watch is canceled. Okay, the watch is canceled. All right. Nevertheless, there were auroras. A CME hit Earth's magnetic field on the 15th. It wasn't the big one from the previous day's 2.x, but it did some auroras, okay? This was a minor CME expected to have little impact on Earth's magnetosphere. Nevertheless, there were auroras. So the 15th set off auroras. Now, they haven't really captured it. So, the lights appeared on December 17th as Earth was passing through the CME's magnetized wake. Intermittent minor geomagnetic storming from this activity, or from this relatively insignificant CME, produced auroras from Canada to Scandinavia. All right, there's that radio blackout that we already listened to. So, CME, or the impact thing, is canceled. All right, the watch is canceled. Now watch it when everybody's not looking or not expecting it. And that's why this kind of surprised me when we came back over here just real quick. The auroras were already brightening back up here. These were really faint just a little while ago, so it seems like we're having another little impact right now, okay? Where'd it go? Okay, I guess I have to load one up. So let me get rid of this site real quick so I can add another site I forgot to load up, I guess. I want to take you over to the Schumann real quick because we've had inactivity that we need to talk about. Alright, sorry I had just loaded up, I thought, but here we go anyway. So, do the scooch and the zoom and the pull. Pull forward for you guys here. Alright. Kind of get this as best I can here for you guys because I really need you to see how weak it was just while ago. For a few hours right there, our magnetic field got really weak. Okay, even brighten it up is even brighter than it looks, so you can see that indeed, we had this screeching event, came out of it, had a little pulse right here where the activity kind of came back to life, and then it really dropped. It, and now it's kind of coming back again, whoop, and we're starting to go into a grinding event. All right, so here we go with, this is what I'm more concerned with, are these little dips right here, because that's when the magnetic field is weak. It's not way down, okay, but it's very weak. This is the 7.83 hertz that's, the magnetic field that protects us from the sun, all right? And we want it nice and green and glowing, vibrant like this, all right? So we did have during the afternoon hours, from noon to afternoon, there was a weakening of the magnetic field today, and the Schumann kind of went a little quiet there. All right, now here we go with impact having results down deep and starting to relay heat and energy to the core. The core is going to heat and swell and relay that energy to the shell that's around it, up through the magma. The magma, when heated, it swells, it expands. Metal expands. So the core is metal, it expands when heated. The shell, semi-metal, probably metal, it expands when heated, and the magma does too. Pushes on the underside of the crust and causes earthquakes in our volcano, increasing those activities. Let's move on. So, a little weakening there in the magnetic field. That's kind of good that we're getting strong again if we got another impact coming. So, actually, the magnetic field was nice and strong during impact. So that's a good thing. That was another little tidbit of good news was all during impact, we had a nice strong 7.83 hertz. So we had a nice strong impact, but it has affected it, and now it's getting a little weak, making a comeback, but we did have that little break today. Now on to earthquakes. Yes, earthquakes? Yeah. Alright, then we can scoot this back, push this back. Come on, USGS. Please, Lord, pull this up. Okay. Anyway, so while we're waiting for this, even though it wasn't like a full-on huge, brutal, high-energy impact, there was a lot of energy over a longer period of time. And why is this? Come on. All right. Anyways, so here we go. During that event, we did take on some energy, and even though it didn't get to G2 or G3, that energy still translates to down below, and pretty soon we'll see residual effects in our earthquakes. So let's get into our report, starting right here. We have our 4.6 down in Fiji at a 581. Okay, so there's your deep quake for the day right there, indicating we still have restlessness down below. Entering the system at 5.7. Okay, so a little uptick. Usually hits here at 5. 4.5 to 5 region, right? We have a 5.7, so a little stronger entering the system right there. The next one up is a 4.6. It's down at 112. Then over here on our island, it didn't get skipped over this time. Finally, it gets hit with a 5.1. So we have some of this 5 energy cruising up through the system here. 5.1 there. Dropping off of 4.6 right next to it there on the island. Then, as we kind of come up through the system here, let's hit this one. 4.9 at a depth of 57. So there's your 5 energy at the surface. Our other little weak spot over here, 4.6 at a depth of 190. All right, and we even have some activity up here by Japan, finally. A 4.5 at 32, which is not too bad. And then up here by the Kamchatka Peninsula. Finally, a 4.4 at a depth of 87.6. So, clear that out, please. Thank you. So we pull back, you can see that we've had our mid-range 4 to 5 energy, come start off here, come creep up through the system, bing, bing, bing. Still hasn't hit this side of the system yet, all right? So expect some mid-range 4 to mid-range 5 energy come up through this part of the system. They'll probably jump this apex or this fulcrum point here, dump off a couple of quakes up here once it gets up through there. This looks to be energy from yesterday. Yeah. 4.9 though here, it's Somalia. And then also up here, we've had a 4.2 in Turkey and a 4.2 on the other side of Turkey. So a little bit of this mid-range 4 to 5 energy still kind of making its way, getting pushed out through the system here. Make its way to here, 4.9. Um, we'll have to watch this region maybe come to life a little bit more if Iceland doesn't. Okay, it seemed to be the new relief valve for Iceland. We got some interesting quakes over in the States. First of all, up here in British Columbia, we have a 4.6 up there in Canada. All right, that's coming down. It's not on the Juan de Fuca, but it's in the Pacific Northwest up there by it. A little further down, we had right there, a 2.7. That's tiny, but a little bit of energy made it down that way. A couple here in Texas, right here from weakness in the crust here. 2.9s, 3.7. It's get a little stronger there. Then we have this odd quake up here. A 3.1 in Waltonville, Illinois at a depth of 16.6. All right, so the New Madrid area, this is right where the little apex point is right here, I believe. So a little shaking coming to life in that area, in that zone now. So we'll have to watch that maybe. Let's pray that if we have inbound pressure, that this doesn't become a weak spot and fire off with a big quake in a series of aftershocks, a new quake swarm. That would be terrible. Anyways, let's come down here. This is a 4.9 here on the Cocos plate, which is fine. We'll take that. That's relieving energy to keep big quakes from happening there. We don't want big quakes happening there or the Juan de Fuca. Here's a 4.6 at our fulcrum point in South America, and down here by the Sandwich Islands, a 4.9. All right, so mid-range 4 and 5 energy all over the map, or, that's on the map right now, which is good because that could have turned out a lot worse. Now, with this energy still coming, the long duration also means longer absorption. So we won't see earthquake activity right away. It's going to take a little bit longer for it to well up to the surface, all right? So I'm still expecting an uptick in activity, even though it wasn't the biggest shot in the world. It was a lot of energy over a longer period of time, which is going to translate into, more quakes, a little raise in magnitude, probably not as much as it would have been if if it had hit us a lot harder. So right now, everything nice and kind of quiet. There's 5 energy floating around out there and stuff, but there could possibly be a jump in magnitude still because of the energy we did take in. And then also this new latest round that we're going to be probably enjoying. It looks like we're starting to hit it right now, starting to hit us right now for the 18th, because it's about to turn the 18th. Now, let's come on over to the volcano report here. Not the ads, the volcano report, please. The part without the ads in the way. Thank you. That's the one site that jams up my computer because it's got so many ads on it. It's like crazy. All right. They're already going into the 18th, so we're going to name off some of these. Dukono, explosive activity continues. Popo, explosive activity continues to 19,000 feet. Okay. Santa Guido, volcanic ash advisory. Sabancaya, same. Ubina, same. Erta Ale, the effusive eruption at the volcano continues at fluctuating intensity. Fluctuating because we have energy and then it releases, then we get more, then it releases. All right, here's our report for the 17th here. Hello. All right. So Mayon, still volcanic ash advisory. Ibu, explosive activity continues. Semeru. Ew. That was scary. I didn't know it was Halloween. All right, Ducono still going off. Explosive activity continues to 8,000 feet. Here, Popo to 20,000 feet. Santa Guido to 15,000. Fuego to 15,000. See, there's pressure under there, and it's pushing out 15,000 foot blasts. Sabancaya Ash Advisory, or Sangiz. Sabancaya explosive activity continues 23,000 feet. Okay, they're getting higher. Ubinus still going. There's your list right there of all the potential ones that are erupting and ones that are potential. Some of these here, let's just go through these. Aoba's one you could possibly see come online. Bongana, Great Sitkin, Karangatang. This one, Mayon, was active not too long ago. It came online not too long ago, so watch for activity around it, possibly. Nishinoshima, okay. Nyamuragira. I'm going to have to work on that one. This one as well. Recon de Vieja, Shishalden, Susawansi, Ulawan. This is another one that came online not too long ago that we should watch. It's in the by Pau Pau, New Guinea there, and Villarica in central Chile. So some of those are ones that could possibly, come online. These ones are already going, so these other ones could possibly erupt too. All right, let's get on over here real quick to this. I had it set here. Uh-oh. Let's try it again. There we go. All right. Actually, it's set up. So something I wanted to point out here. First of all, here's our polar vortex is doing a new ditty. So you see our main vortex right here, and we had our sub-vortex over here, right? Well, now our sub-vortex is split in two with an intense region right here. See, the main part is right here, but then it has a sub-vortex that's a little more intense right here that's actually over the United States now. So it's still coming at us, but splitting in half right over the Central Plains and taking off this way and going backwards across the Pacific Ocean still all the way to China and Russia. And the sub-vortex up here is a much tighter rotation right here in the Gulf of Alaska. All right, so we're going to see change up in weather here. All right, and then this is going to be crazy. All right, you see how it splits over here in the U.S. and a lot of the energy gets diverted. The main part's over like Maine and the upper part of New England and stuff. But look over here. Oh my Lord. Let me just. All right, you see the wind flow. It kind of blocking everything. Let's take the wind out now. The color denotes the intensity. And we're talking all from the top of Norway all the way down to the top of Africa, all of Europe just getting smashed by the polar vortex, and it's coming right off the Atlantic, just smashing this whole area. Look how far south it is here. When I put the winds back on here. All right. Just because it's not red doesn't mean it's still down here in North Africa, halfway across Saudi Arabia now. All right, this has expanded in width and is dropping further south on this part of the planet. All right, these guys they're in for it. This is pretty gnarly. Russia just got buried with snow. Crazy weather. We had this storm fire up over South America here that just turned into the weirdest thing. Where is it? This one? No. Let me get this again. I want to pull this up for you and show you something. Please, Lord, can we have this back again? I want this last little ditty right here. All right, this should be an ad. No, hopefully it'll be the radar. Oh, there's your ad. Come on, Jerry, hurry up with your explanation. Dude, hurry up. All right, there you go. So what I'm trying to get to is this little part right here. It's coming up. So right here in Buenos Aires, I want you to watch this wave of how this stuff moved in to Buenos Aires right up here. Okay, so watch this weather form down here, and this weird wave ripple type effect come marching in to Buenos Aires here. Watch this line. It seems to roll and fold over and hand off energy right in front of it. See that up there? Did you see that? Here, let's go back here. All right, I think it's right there. You see this wave transfer energy in front of it? That is like the weirdest looking kind of storm, and it starts doing it way back here too. So watch this. And that was 93 mile an hour winds in Buenos Aires. That's like a Category 1 hurricane that just kind of popped up out of nowhere today on December 17th. See the date down here, December 17th, and I was warning you, I was telling you guys about weird weather, intense weather, not just here in America, but around the world. That right there. That looks like almost like the passage of an object caused a ripple effect or something here. One more time real quick with this. Because I'm going to start watching for this weather phenomenon here, where it keeps handing it off, passing it forward. It was just like a huge wall cloud. One of these clouds that's just huge. Whoops. Like one of these type of wall clouds. It was just huge. And it just totally caught them off guard. You know, nobody was forecasting a hurricane that day. And it's not a hurricane. It's just a storm that just kind of brewed up out of the convection of the day. One more time right there. But look how it just switches energy from the back to the front one and marches right on in there to Buenos Aires. So they got kind of caught off guard with this weather today because of this energy coming in. All right. So that was down here in South America. Here we go over here with your high winds coming off the South Pacific here. Also, while we're here real quick, I got to come over to the SO2. It was looking all right earlier. Not all right, but it's not all right that we have SO2 just pouring out of the ground like this. Whoops. But it's not as dark right now. It's lightened up a little bit. We still do have some dark over here, though. See how it's black in this area right in there? Okay, so there's still a lot of pressure under this region here that's still trying to vent, all right? That's right over here by the East Pacific and Japan and stuff too. So earthquake activity, in this region still possible because of a lot of pressure still underneath the ground there. It's lightening up a little bit, but not right there. All right, so we're getting a little break, a little breather from that. Now let's get on over to the forecast here. Finish this up so we can get to our spiritual report tonight. Oh boy, what a mess this is, huh, folks? All right. Let's just kind of. Current conditions right now, we got, what is it, creeping into Pennsylvania and up into New York here pretty soon. The next little jump right here, that'll be the morning at 7 a.m. that time for this region. And let's just go in as much as I can with this. And all right, you guys can go ahead and take a look at your map. New York right here, just inundated. Long Island's going to get hit really hard, all the way up from like DC, Philadelphia, all the way up through there in the next few hours here. It's blurry. There we go. Can't see anything. All right, maybe that was an old comment. So there we go. There's our huge storm in the next little series here. Let me just back it up real quick. This is current time right there. Severe weather still striking this area. Lots of flooding going along with this. High winds knocking out power. All right, so prepare for high winds, hail, severe flooding. You already saw how deep it was in South Carolina there. All right, so it's just going to continue. That's your current conditions. Then we go to the morning time right there. That'll be like 7 in the morning for the East Coast right here. Then the noon time, kind of moving way up into Maine and everything, still up into Canada, still going across New York right there. And then one more here. And I think that's the end of convection there. So hopefully by the time the sun's gone down, the end of convection, there'll still be severe weather up in Maine, but most of it will be out of this area. Now, something we need to talk about here too, that I don't think anybody's going to be catching on to. You see the snow on the backside? If we just had a bunch of severe flooding right through this area and you guys got a bunch of water on the ground and this cold part comes through and dumps snow on it, it could freeze up, or it could just even add to the mix, to the total, and make things a sloppy mess. Let me zoom out so I can get the time. Yeah, this is the end of convection, December 18th. So back up a little bit. Let's march through this again. Current conditions, the morning, whoops, try it again without the delay. Current conditions, the morning, that's going to be gnarly right there. The morning, tomorrow morning, starting here pretty soon in New York, Long Island, that whole area. That's the end of convection right there. Still here. Oh no, that's noontime. My bad. Noontime. So cloud tops will still be blossoming here. All right, you see the snow on the backside creeping around. So as we go into the end of convection, we got the snow creeping into the backside into the nighttime. So the nighttime, it's going to get cold with snow. In upstate New York, they just had a bunch of water and stuff too. So it could possibly get cold, freezing down in this region. You see where these millibars and this freezing snow is. All right, that's through the noon time of the 19th, the end of convection the 19th, and pretty much out of there as we have another round hitting the west coast. And we could get into that. Just kind of, this is getting, wow, look at that thing. A little bit hard to predict without the, knowing what direction and what inbound energy to expect. So look at this event. That'll be around December 27th, supposedly. But Well, I guess we could go through it here real quick. Let's back up a little bit. I want to skip some of this opening this whole time when there's not much weather. All right, so once this storm clears, we got a clear pattern until right about here. This will be December 20th, noontime, or 10 a.m. out west when we have this system hitting the west there. So 4 p.m. out west there as it drives up into the Sierra Central Valley. That's the nighttime of the 20th. Severe weather on the coast right here at nighttime on the 20th. Then as we go into the morning of the 21st, the first day of winter, shortest day of the year, we got severe weather off the LA, San Diego area there, kind of driving into the Southern California by noontime the 21st. That's the end of convection. Nighttime right there is just rotating around down there. You see the moisture coming up into here now. A little spot of severe weather right in the middle right there. 4 a.m. This will be the morning of the 22nd. We got this wet patch, or this patch of moisture right here in the central part of the country. And you can see how it's kind of tightening up like a fist right here and starting to string back out with a little chance of severe weather there at noon on the 22nd. This low also rolling up right through there. By the end of convection, severe weather chance at Oklahoma, Texarkana right there. Or no, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Texas border right there. Look at the snow back up in here coming into the Oregon, Northern California area by the afternoon of the 22nd there. Then we get into the nighttime of the 22nd, still snow, severe weather possibly here, Arkansas, Texas. The morning hours, snow, severe weather. This is the noontime of the 23rd. You see this storm and this low wrapping up back here. We got severe chances here on the coast of Texas, Louisiana, going into Texas there. Shifting over to Louisiana by the end of convection, the 23rd. Then you see as this low starts to wrap up, it's grabbing this moisture. It's pulling this up. There's severe weather chances back here again at nighttime, nocturnal thunderstorms offshore. Then it starts to grab all this and swing it around. This is the morning of the 24th. That's going to be noontime, the 24th. Here's the end of convection, the 24th. The nighttime, it kind of spreads and dissipates here. That's good. It kind of falls apart. Still chance for severe weather over here, but not too bad. That's the morning of Christmas. Noontime of Christmas, a little bit down in here. Some maybe on the rotation backside. Another storm moving in over here on Christmas. This is the end of convection. There might be a little more severe weather popping up down here. We'll see. Nighttime of Christmas, severe weather finally popping up right in there, you see, and chances up in Iowa through there too. That's the next morning. That's the morning of the 26th, noontime, the end of convection, nighttime, the morning of the 27th. You see how this is all coming together and gelling together. Huge snow field on the backside with all this moisture coming right up through here again. It's the morning of the 27th, going into noon. It's starting to pull up some severe weather into New York here. By the end of convection, December 27th, this is when cloud tops are at their highest. The sun's, kind of going down. Look how well and defined this comma hook-shaped storm has formed. Tight millibars all through there. That means high wind, heavy snow. Look for power outages in this thing again. These high wind ones are just they just knock out the power is what they do. Fairly decent snow coming all the way back from Canada into Michigan, into Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, even down into like Kentucky here. All right, and that's the nighttime of the 27th. You see how this thing's curling around. This little cell right here of severe weather could be a little bit bigger and could be pretty intense. We'll see when we get there. That's the morning of the 28th. And then you see how it kind of fans out and dissipates as we go through the day of the 28th. And then kind of is done with the country by nighttime the 28th. Another big storm coming on shore here the 28th. We're going into, actually, this is the morning of the 29th that starts to come on shore here. The noontime, the end of convection, it pushes into the Sierras. More moisture coming up here again. This will be the night of the 29th. Morning of the 30th. Look at this coming at Florida down here. Morning of the 30th, or that'll be noontime the 30th, sorry. It crosses the peninsula during convection. And then we go into the nighttime. Whoops, give me the nighttime. There's the nighttime of the 30th going into the morning of the 31st. Lots of snow across Nevada, up through Idaho. Sierra Nevada's there, the 31st. It'll be the noontime there. And the convection, the night of the 31st, first, noontime, convection, the night, morning of the 2nd, noon, convection, and that's it. So let's go ahead and let that loop play there real quick. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so what were we doing for the... Oh, that's right. And I got it still up here. Oh, there it is. Okay, cool. All right, let me take down some of these other sites. Oh, real quick before I forget, let's come on back over to the seed site real quick and take a peek at tomorrow already, if we can. Maybe we can. Oh, I just try to do something nice is all. Please, Lord, can we have that side back? There we go. All right, so that was the 15th right there that we were looking at that's sending energy tomorrow. So this is the inbound energy for tomorrow. One more quick peek at it. Then I want to go take a peek here at the 18th. Yeah, you can see how this was reaching down to this angle at the end right there. All right, fresh data for the 18th. Just a few frames, but what was that? You see this event right here leaving the screen at the very beginning? There's only 20 frames, but there's the first frame. We have this little small spiral guy coming off right here. Oh, that looks kind of cool. Here, let me zoom in on this real quick. Please, Lord, can we have the zoom? See this little spiral hook type thing coming off right here? The instrument reacting to it. Go frame next. As it pops out, let me zoom back out, I guess. I just wanted you to see that little swirling effect on it. Then, as we proceed, it comes on out. There's something else going on over here. It's very faint. This event right here, something going on in there. Alright, so not much right now. Saw something scooting through there. So that's a little peek at the 18th. Alright, so we're done now. Let's get on over to the spiritual report. Okay, hopefully this pulls this up, please, Lord. Okay, yep, there we go. Let's just give it theater size, please. I think maybe our internet's a little laggy due to maybe something possibly hitting us right now. So, if we can get this to play here. Alright, let me start this video over here. Let me see something. We got something. music or something else playing? Yeah, there it is. Alright, I'm going to play this video real quick for you. So, not only do I have these giant faces now that follow and watch and study me everywhere I go, I got UFOs now that watch and follow and study me everywhere I go. I noticed, when I was younger and a kid, and I knew they were real, but never knew what part they played until this stuff started happening to me. Alright, hopefully we got that set up with the sound and everything. Now let me open this up a little bit bigger and start this for you. So, a lot of these, when I'm taking these images of these events in the clouds, I'm going through my pictures and there's all kinds of UFOs in them. All these UFO activity in my pictures. Here, can you see this little eye forming right here? This was going to turn out to be a face, alright? So let me start this over again. Appeared in this picture, and I'm going to pull over to this little object that's hovering over the mountain here. Okay, so we got a nice clear UFO black disc floating in the sky next to this event. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, here, a little UFO there, so there's that one. Okay, in this one, here's another example of one of these UFOs cloaked. You can make it out in the background, you can see the UFO. And then as I zoom in, I want you to see that I noticed something else in the picture here. This little black UFO. Oh, get out. It's hanging out next to this angel. You can see the angel up there in the cloud. Multiple angels. Okay, so there's that image, and this was the first picture of the day. This was the first image on the 27th. And then here's the second image from the same day, and it's still there. So I managed to capture it in two different images, the same object in the sky, in the same place, in two images back to back. Okay, just real quick here, I was taking a picture of this little round rainbow type effect, and as we zoom in, we caught another UFO sitting there. As taking pictures, this is just sitting in the sky. So there's that one. Okay, in this image I was taking a picture of this little stripe in the sky because it just looked strange. It didn't look like a regular contrail to me right here. A little bumpy stripe. And then I noticed something else was sitting up right next to it here, and we'll zoom in on it. And this is another one of these UFOs, and it's way up there. That's not a bird or a bug or anything, because as I pan back, it is way, way, way up there and just tiny. Okay, another image here where I was just snapping pictures, and I noticed another one of these black UFOs hovering right in the middle of my picture. Okay, so there's that one. Okay, and then in this last image here, there's a UFO cloaked in the clouds right here. You can make out the little shape by the cloud structure. And as I pull back, you'll see there's another one behind it, and another one back behind it, and another one back behind it, and another one back behind it. And there's like a line of these UFOs all lined up, arcing down and coming into the sky. Bit so you can see some of the other ones up higher. It's like a parade of UFOs. Dimensional. They can overlapping each other or something. Matter can be in. All right, here. Let me show you. What was the other spot right here? this effect, I don't know if it's going to catch it on here, is something that's in your skies all the time. And let's see if we can capture it here real quick. I want you to see the clouds are actually all wavy like that. Electromagnetic disruption in the clouds is showing up in this magnetic wave signature or whatever they're using to cloak these ships. I think it's right about, oh, come on, pull back. When I see wavy clouds like that in the sky, I start snapping pictures because there's usually something in there, and it's cloaking a UFO. Let me see, where's the spot where it kind of captured it right there? Right. To cloak these ships. Kind of capturing it. You can see the shape of the ship is right here. It's this big disc shape, and you can actually make out the rim a little bit going around it, and the cloaking mechanism or whatever causes condensation, and these clouds start to form around them, and they make these rippled magnetic field lines in the clouds, and it's actually cloaking a big ship there. It's not capturing it, but so not only like little solid object ship type things, but huge cloaked in the clouds or bending light or something. And I showed you that one. Okay, so those are just some of the examples. I got so many photos of this stuff. Real quick, where's the come on. I was trying to get to another UFO video. I'll go into Walmart and come out, and there's a UFO sitting in the sky waiting for me. Just the oddest stuff. Where'd it go? Right here. Oh, it's something hovering here in the sky. Right here is about as tight as I can get it. I took several pictures of it. It seemed to have split in two at one point. Yeah, it's not really capturing that one too well. But anyways, been sitting there for about a minute now, not moving. From my vantage point, it kind of looks like two objects. Yeah, it was. It doesn't show up like that on the camera, but. Oh no. Anyways, just little clips that I catch here and there. They're all through my pictures. Where was another one I did here? Just all kinds of UFO activity. And when I was like 4 years old, I seen my first UFO. And the odd thing about it was, I remember it kind of like not called to me, but grabbed my attention. Made me look out the window. And for some odd reason, at that age, I already knew what it was without having UFOs ever being exposed or explained to me or anything like that, which was kind of odd. I knew what it was, and I told my parents, hey, I just seen a UFO. There might be a couple more examples in this video real quick here. I haven't seen this one in a long time, so. Howdy folks, welcome back. So we got a lot to cover here, so I'm going to get right to it. We left off on the 20th. There was no activity on the 21st. Is this the weird looking one? I think. This looks like some kind of never mind. It's not. That's the goose. Craft from the bigger UFO. That's the goose. It looks like a UFO, but it's not. It's a goose. Here's the head, the wings, and the tail. It's flying this way. Where's the other one? Right after it, though. Nope. All right. Here we go. This is the one, I think. Alright, I'm going to zoom in on it. You probably can't see it yet, but there's a little black dot right here. And I'm going to start zooming in on this little black dot here because this is another one of these UFOs. And you can even see it has some kind of weird force field, some kind of glow around it. And that thing is sitting there in the sky in front of this cloud as I pan back. And it's really tiny in the picture. I barely even noticed it. Okay. Just one more time real quick. Just a few samples there. Some of the ones I've caught. Here's another effect that turned out pretty crazy. All right. My son took a photo of what looked like a UFO-shaped cloud descending out of the clouds. And I showed you the dragon face that was in it. Well, a few days later, we had this event happen. You can make out windows going across it here. Howdy, folks. Welcome back. So last night I did a video on this event that happened over our town last night, and these clouds were all still like pink and red, where everything else had like kind of turned gray. So I took a bunch of pictures of it and took some video. I posted the video right off the bat, and then I started going through some of these pictures, and I'm going to start zooming in here and pointing out what I found. So, if you look here, I'm going to zoom in here. Right here appears to be the bottom of a UFO craft. Right there. And then as I zoom in and pull it down, you can see the dome of it goes up here, goes over, comes down. It looks like it has windows in it right through here and up in there. And back behind, right here, appears to be the bottom. Alright, hopefully you could see it right there. It's almost like out of Independence Day, with the sunset causing the clouds to turn orange in front of it right here, but it's creating this little misty area of clouds because of its cloaking device, right? Then it's also another one out here creating another one. But this big one right here, this is the bottom of the disc. You can see the edge go out here and come back around. So the edge of the disc is right here. You can see the bottom in shade there a little bit, hopefully. And then you can make out the dome that goes over it, comes down. Alright. And that's how they cloak in the clouds. Those things are sitting in your sky and you don't know it. They're just cloaked in the clouds. So if you ever see something in this kind of configuration, take a few pictures of it. See what comes out. All right, there was some other stuff in there too, but we'll get. Let's see. We can get to that stuff later. Anyways, some examples of the UFO activity that follows me everywhere I go. And it gets a little disturbing after a while. So I kind of stopped taking pictures and paying attention to it so much. You know, I got a life I gotta go live. I'm a single father with 2 teenage boys, so I got a lot of errands and stuff to do. Come on, Lord, give me this back, please. We're gonna do our spiritual report now. Come on. All right, well, there it comes. Well, it's coming back. I can set up my lights and stuff. Yeah, so I'm just a regular man trying to live my life here with all this stuff going on around me. It's just bizarre. Okay, so let's come back here, pull up a good image to read to. We did the other one the other night. Let's pull up this one. It's always a good one. On Easter of 20.
where
Here's where the lion face turns into Jesus wearing a crown there. Kind of let that play in the background a little bit while I get ready to read here.
And now we're here at this image right here. This is a flip book of about maybe 15 or 20 of those pictures, and it's the transition between Jesus' face and the lion face. Now this happened in the clouds, and it was so big and in your face you couldn't see it. It wasn't until I took these images and zoomed out and compressed them. You didn't zoom in. They're too big in your face. You have to zoom out to see these. And these...
All right, so I'll just start backing up to right about there, and let that video play in mute in the background while I do this here. All right. Come to me with your gaping emptiness, knowing that in me you are complete. As you rest quietly in my presence, my light within you grows brighter and brighter. Facing the emptiness inside you is simply the prelude to being filled with my fullness. Therefore, rejoice on those days when you drag yourself out of bed feeling sluggish and inadequate. Tell yourself that this is the perfect day to depend on me in childlike trust. If you in this dependence as you go through the day, you will discover by bedtime that joy and peace have become your companions. You may not realize at what point they joined you on your journey, but you will feel the beneficial effects of their presence. The perfect end to such a day is the doxology of gratitude. I am he from whom all blessings flow. When you are plagued by a persistent problem, one that goes on, view it as a rich opportunity. An ongoing problem is like a tutor who is always by your side. The learning possibilities are limited only by your willingness to be teachable. In faith, thank me for your problem. Ask me to open your eyes and your heart to all that I am accomplishing through this difficulty. Once you have become grateful for a problem, it loses its power to drag you down. I repeat again, once you have become grateful for a problem, it loses its power to drag you down. On the contrary, your thankful attitude will lift you up into heavenly places with me. From this perspective, your difficulty can be seen as a slight temporary distress that is producing for you a transcendent glory never to cease. Sing for joy to me your strength. Christian music is one of the best blessings of the season, and it doesn't have to cost you anything. You can sing the carols at church or in the privacy of your home or even in your car. As you're making a joyful noise, pay close attention to the words. They are all about me and my miraculous entrance into your world. Singing from your heart increases both your joy and your energy, and it also blesses both you and me. I created you to glorify me and enjoy me forever. So it's not surprising that you feel more fully alive when you glorify me through song. I want you to learn to enjoy me in more and more aspects of your life. Before you arise from bed each morning, try to become aware of my presence with you. Say to yourself, surely the Lord is in this place. This will awaken your awareness to the wonders of my continual nearness. I will fill you with joy in my presence. I, your Savior, am Almighty God. Much of the focus during Advent is on the baby in the manger. I did indeed begin my life on earth in this humble way. I set aside my glory and took on human flesh. but I continue to be God, able to live a perfect, sinless life and perform mighty miracles. I, your God, am with you, mighty to save. Be blessed by this combination of my tender nearness and my majestic power. When I entered this world, I came to that which was my own, because everything was made through me. But my own did not receive me. Yet to all who receive me, to those who believe in my name, I gave the right to become children of God. This gift of salvation is of an infinite value. I repeat, this gift of salvation is of infinite value. It gives meaning and direction to your life. It makes heaven your final destination. During this season of giving and receiving presents, remember that the ultimate present is eternal life. Respond to this glorious gift by rejoicing in me always. Oh, and we had good old Patrick slip in there, huh? While I'm reading, you silly cunt. All right. It wouldn't just play my video, huh? Had to go to an ad. I'm trying to do my reading, you asshole. All right, sorry. Get frustrated when I get interrupted like that. I can't wait to get to a YouTube board meeting, and right when they're talking the specifics of their bottom line, I'm going to jump on their desk with an ad and interrupt the most important thing with an useless ad. How rude. Anyways, excuse me. I don't like being interrupted. I don't think you guys would like that either. Anyways, so beautiful images here, beautiful reading. Hopefully we didn't have to stare at that old bald head too long. Another corrupted actor sold his soul for fame and fortune, now trying to sell you products. They're scantless. Every ad is just scantless. And if you look at the mentality level that they're trying to appeal to you at, they're calling you a dummy. They think your IQ level is so low that you're going to fall for their stupid little ad and go buy their product. I mean, when you look at the reality of things around us, how stupid and silly most of this stuff is. Pointless, really, trivial. When there's other stuff out there that's much, much more important. Okay. All right. I love you all. God bless you all. I miss you all. And until my next show, I'll be back. I am back. Can't you tell?